First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And they'll get this out quickly to Goodwin. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Well, just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Hardman on the return. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Come on. Hey.
On first down, Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Hurts. He's got a man. Complete. Seattle. 44 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a third down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action with Hurts. Catch is made by Hardman. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field. It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from the 1. Jacobs again. But he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Okay, ready? Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they've moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts, to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Throwing is Hurts. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A solid stiff arm. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
70. 65 yards, 65 yards.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Lions are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. I appreciate the aggressiveness trying to go for it there on 4th down, but you're in the red zone, had 3 points in your back pocket. Instead, Charles, they throw it away.
Certainly a big call to go for it on 4th down. As you said, in the red zone, definitely going to cost them 3 points, and we'll see how that affects the game as time goes on.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Following the interception, Cousins in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw, Cousins. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
Come on.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Play action. Here's Hurts. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Hurts. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Cousins now. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch. Definitely
worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path. A significant number.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The Lions at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Seahawks will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Josh Jacobs, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0.
Makes the score Seahawks 13, Lions nothing.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Play fake, Cousins. Man open is Robinson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Cousins throw there, complete to Mooney. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Caught out left side by Robinson. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On play action, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Touchdown, Seahawks. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Play action now. Cousins. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And, oh, that would get a wide up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. And now here's another interception. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Lions are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this 2nd quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out. And my goodness, another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
As we've seen, their first two drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cousins. Catch made, it's Moreau. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. To throw is Cousins. And now here is another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Bulldozes past him. Oh, a second dosage. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On first down, Hurts. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. Past midfield.
That's a tremendous start to the 3rd quarter. These guys had their foot on the gas the entire first half. They continue to keep the accelerator down.
At the 48-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the ground, Jacobs will get the 3rd quarter started. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The all-everything defensive tackle, Aaron Donald, the one who made the play there.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They go play action with Hurts. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Ready!
They go with Jacobs. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take the... The 30-yard line.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Seahawks.
And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on 1st down. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Cousins from the gun on third. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Let's go.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Ready, ready.
2nd and 16. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Hardman to return. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 34-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Ready.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Seattle. This is taken at the 18. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
Injuries got to McCaffrey again in 2021. He's played just 10 games since his historic 2019 season. He's been averaging well over 100 yards per game when he's out there, though. And fans of the game are hoping this is the year he gets back to a full season of work.
And my goodness, another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Here we go.
This to Jacobs on the toss right. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 33. 98 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. And now here is another interception. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 128 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Ready.
And they will take a knee here. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they'll indeed take a knee. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins.
And this will be caught by Mooney. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to...
And my goodness, another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
How about this starting field position? First and goal from 2 yards out. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Seahawks, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.